Hey guys, it's your girl What Do You Mean Jody and welcome back to another video. I have seen that Messy Mitch has been saying some crazy stuff, so I want to watch this interview, but I want to get my live reactions. Let's just see what he has to say.
I did. So I went straight from, me and Ella went straight from the reunion, straight home, ordered food, to bed, then up, and I've had a busy day.
It's actually really crazy because Mitch and Ella B seem to be doing really well outside the villa. Maybe they're gonna last.
Jealous. I wish I went out. Everyone were out but me. And
I know.
Me, Zach, Molly, and Ella went home.
Did you?
I think so. Yeah, everyone went out.
Is that just because you knew you were doing this today with me?
Yeah.
You thought I can't be hungover for Jodie?
Exactly. That's literally it. Took the words out of my mouth.
And how was things after the union between you and Ella? Was everything okay?
Me and Ella are fine.
Right.
We've got absolutely no problems. Obviously, Abby had some things to say in that, but I think we're in a good place right now, and you know, comments like that aren't going to fade.
I think Abby had a lot to say because social media like hyped her up, but I just think she's talking for no reason.
Excuse me.
How did you feel about the being gaslit by a gas engineer comment then?
Yeah, I'm impressed. I am.
That's quite good to be fair.
It's very good. Like, don't get me wrong. It's stupidly rehearsed. Like, should have rehearsed that all day. But to the point where if you can
Literally
get me just without a response, then it's a good comment.
It's
like,
actually
that
good.
would, yeah, 100%. I loved it.
Right, so what would you have wanted to say then at the reunion if you got the chance to say your piece?
I wanted to see more of everything at the reunion. Like, they need to start doing the reunion like they did back in like season 5, because that's just how you do it. You leave them for a couple of months and then you do a reunion. In fact, they could still do it. They could come back in like a month or 2 months and do a reunion, because a lot has already happened and it's not even I think it's like a week since it's been over and a lot has already happened. So they need to do another reunion in like a month's time.
Obviously, absolutely nothing towards Abby. Like, I haven't got any problems towards her. I try and be as respectful to Abby as I can, but it literally solely just be with Katie. Like, bro, what are you doing? She must be the first Islander to come off, and this is coming from Messy Mitch, come off and then just go on 10 different podcasts and mince everyone.
Katie has literally gone on every podcast that will have her. I haven't watched any of them. I've just seen little clips on TikTok and whatever. I've not seen any of them because honestly, I don't want to hear it. But she's literally gone on any podcast that'll have her to chat shit about every single person in there. And I mean, this is her second time on there. Like, grow up.
And to the point where it's like, you calling me and Ella B fake, you came in with a boyfriend. You have a boyfriend.
Literally, she went on with a boyfriend. Your boyfriend's in prison. That's why you're not back with your boyfriend and you can keep up the parade.
Boyfriend to this day. You know what I mean? And I've been told by the other girls, I'm not going to name names because I'll just take all of this. You had your boyfriend's bracelet they give you on. Your boyfriend was at your house whilst you were there and you're calling me fake. I got called fake by KD.
I need to go back and see this, but I want to know if there is a bracelet on her wrist.
When Katie was doing the most. Like, I am known as Messy Mitch. I should be doing what Katie's doing. And all I'm doing right now is retaliating. I wasn't going to come out and smoke and say anything about anyone. Like, even like, Uzi's my boy. He was sat in these podcasts, and I know for a fact he didn't want to be there. He just thought, I'm just here and I've got to do it. And, like, you're saying to Zach, like, 15 minutes of fame, bro, you had to come back on another season because you was becoming irrelevant.
Say
Don't
it
come at
again.
Zach for that because you sound like a donut, basically.
When Zach said what he said to Katie, were you desperate to be like, let me in?
I was thinking, put the cameras on me now, I want to jump in. Like, the thing is, Zach's so chill and so smart. He said, he said the tiniest bit that was so good. Like, he looked at me, we both like nodded and winked at each other, like, yeah, you did good. Like, I don't know how Katie's doing it. I don't know what. Thing is, I really like Katie. And we were at the Love Island final event. And she grabbed me and went, Mitch, you're my favorite. You're my favorite character. I love you to bits. That's the other. And I'm like, looking, you're calling me fake, calling me a super fan. And it's like, if you was to take accountability for your actions, or yeah, did this, whatever.
Like, that's just embarrassing. Like, how can you be talking shit about everybody and then at an event you're like, oh, you're my favorite? Like, you're pushing 30. Like, seriously, grow up.
Then fair enough, but you're being fake to my face and everyone else. Like, off camera, so nice, and on camera, it's like, are you putting an act on to be get your 15 minutes of fame. I wasn't going to do this podcast and start going mad at KD until KD started going mad about me and everyone else, and that's when I thought, right, I'll respond. Because I'm not going to just pull it out of thin air. I can't fathom why she'd do it. Like, I can't figure out why she'd do it. Like, I am Messy Mitch, and I am not doing that. So why are you doing it? So you call everyone fake and doing it for screen time and trying to relevancy. You're literally contradicting yourself because you're doing all these. I'll never understand it because me and Katie got on so well. We generally did. This is what sucks for me. So obviously, some of the things, don't get me wrong, some of the things which I'll not mention, Katie have said in these podcasts over the time are correct and do make sense. That aren't about me. Like, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I understand that. Like, I do agree with some of the things. But still, like, why just... No, I don't think anyone's ever done this. I don't think after a series they've come out and just started open up about all the secrets. So obviously that's why I dropped my 2 pence in to be like, I've got stuff on you, Katie. Stop doing this. You know what I mean? And then she was saying things like I'm a super fan. Obviously, no offense to Love Island, but I didn't watch it ever. I flew out for the winter one.
I told you guys. I'm gonna insert a clip. I fucking told you guys I am an investigator. I told you lot this in the fucking lineup release.
I was just on his Instagram, right? So I'm on his Instagram and his first highlight is South Africa. So when you click on it, he was in Cape Town in February. Guys, was he supposed to be a bombshell or was he supposed to be like on the last season and they just didn't release him? Because if you didn't know, or at least I think from what I've heard from past Islanders, what they do is they bring people out there, they hold you in a villa and they release you when the time is right. So I'd imagine that they have like more people there that never got to go on when because the time was never right. Maybe he was supposed to be on winter.
And whilst they were out there, they were asking me for my top 3. I had to ask my sister because I generally didn't. In the winter, I'm too busy anyway because I'm working, so I don't have time to watch it. So when I had to initially ask for my top 3, and the only one I did watch was obviously the winter one because I was going on, and Tommy and Molly's season. That's the one I did watch, and then calling me a super fan was just mental.
Because apparently you've studied every series.
Apparently I'm an expert at this, but no, no.
Did you speak to her at the reunion then?
No.
Was it no? Okay.
Not all. I think what Zach said was, I'm pretty happy with what Zach said. I think Katie's just upset that Zach chose Molly, not Katie. I think Uzi deserves better. I just do. Like, the thing is, I wouldn't have said it.
Well, guys, it has been announced that Uzi cheated on Katie. They've both said it, like Uzi has admitted it and she said it. So they're no longer together.
Anything like this before Katie started throwing shade on everyone, and I speak for everyone and myself. It's like Uzi's stunning.
Yeah.
He deserves the world. He is like, I've got bad traits. He's got none.
Yeah.
He's just really nice, really sounded. It's like really genuine. It's like, I don't see it'll last.
Okay.
Some people could say that.
I think this was released like a day ago. It didn't last.
Their relationship's fake.
Why do you think anyone would think that your feelings towards Ella B are fake and vice versa?
Probably because how badly I handled the Ella and the Abby situation. Right. Head was scrambled. It took me so long to get clarity, and I mean, Ella was at mine the whole weekend in Sheffield. I'm at Ella's all this week. We are taking things slow. It is a completely different world out here, and right now things are going well. So it's not fake. I probably don't deserve her, I'll be honest.
Aww. And I think there was some questions over the fact that you're not Ella B's usual type, apparently. Did you see that?
Doesn't bother me. I've got to be. I've got to be. I think this was just Katie potentially stirring the pot again. Ella got to take me on a date and had history with Ty. Ty might be one of the best looking men in the world. Like, I don't blame her for getting to know Ty. Like, but I think they just round it down to Ella's type is a light-skinned guy, not a northern bloke from Sheffield.
But like, they can't keep saying, oh, Ty was her type. She had history with Ty. So, like, just because your ex looks like this doesn't mean that that's your only type. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense.
You know what I mean? So I just thought, no, that's fine.
And before Ella B came in, things with you and Abby seemed to be going really, really well. And
Yeah.
it was the first time in a bit of time in the villa that we'd seen you.
I know. I would all inclusive for about a month.
Quite right. It was the first time we'd seen you kind of, you know, with a romance that was developing, but then it changed. So when do you think it changed? Like, when was the point where you were like, actually, I don't know who I like more?
So obviously, I went on that date with Ella, and the date did go very well. But I did come back, and I was still Abby.
Right.
I came back, I gave Abby a kiss, give her a cuddle, and I said, don't worry about it, it's all good. And then I found out for the boys, she was at the gym, she was at the pool with him and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, hang on, am I being mugged off here? Abby just moved mad that night, obviously. And fair enough, like, emotions are high. You live in a villa with people, you can't escape. So obviously, when you feel sad, you'll show it. And all that day and all that night, Abby was crying and being upset and being protective and stuff, and it put me back a bit. And I was like, hang on, we've been coupled up for a week and a half or so, like, calm me down a bit. And that pushed me on to Ella B.
Right.
And then, this is mental, this storyline, because I actually lived it, and I can't believe I'm having to say it. And then the recoupling, I was going to pick Abby.
All right.
Seriously. I was going to pick Abby. I winked at Abby and went, yeah, I'm going to pick you, because I thought I had the power.
Right.
Okay. What is wrong with me, by the way? And then after that, she basically, a whole recoupling up speech was about me, not Scott, which was brilliant. I think it was more the fact that I was going to pick her, then Ella B picked me, and I loved that, the fact that Ella B picked me, and I'm comparing 2 days with Ella B to 2 strong weeks with Abby, and that's what was messing my head up. And I felt like in there you have no time. You've got to make your mind up. It's not Abby, it's just I wanted to, like, get what I couldn't have at the time, and I realised I don't actually want that, so Messy Mitch obviously came along. And then after that, the next day with the Snog Marry Pie, Snog Marry Mitch, more or less, because I got all the pies. I was making my decision that day, but I didn't have time to tell Ella B. And thankfully, there was a snippet of me talking to Katie and Uzi saying that it's Ella B.
Right.
So I was going to cut things off with Abby and Ella, but we woke up, had lunch, and went straight to the challenge. I had no time at all. So I just stood there and went, right, I even went to lads and went, this is going to be mental.
Apparently, Abby said that you said to her that if she cut things off with Scott, you were going to make it exclusive. Is this true? No?
No. And I remember seeing that saying it didn't get filmed because it wasn't real.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm
Say
certain.
something
You know
get
what? I'm
filmed.
very good at owning up to things I remember. But I don't remember that, so I can't own up to it. So I think I remember having a chat with her just saying, if you wasn't to get Scott involved, we would have been exclusive.
Right.
But you've got Scott involved, not if you cut things off with Scott. I'm not putting you in a dilemma. I've done that once in the series. I'm not doing that again.
Let's talk about the grafties. What was going on, and why did you not just sit down, Mitch? You was that
He didn't have to sit down. He was absolutely iconic that night. I loved it.
standing up for so long, and we were all screaming, "Sit down!"
I wanted to sit down. I remember, like, we're watching it now thinking, at the same time, this is real, but it's reality, and no one was reacting. And I think when me and Ty clocked on, Ty were like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to say what I want to say. And obviously when I stood up there, it was still dead quiet. I'm thinking, this is going to be, like, from my opinion, this is going to be a crap episode. So I stood up there and...
He really said this is going to be a boring episode. Let me give them some entertainment. We love that from him.
Obviously, I said what I need to say, and then Scott obviously called me a knobhead.
Yeah.
I love Scott to bits, by the way, and I just thought, don't call me a knobhead in front of all my friends and millions of people at home, and I'll respond. And how the edit looked is Scott won.
No.
He generally
Didn't.
I
didn't.
love how that's all you're bothered
He
about.
didn't.
It looked like Scott won, but actually.
He generally didn't. Like, obviously how it's been
Yes,
edited,
sir.
I like absolutely. And he said that, and I was like, you said this, that, the other, and then after that, me and Scott just shook hands and we got over it.
Yeah, let's bring up Scott and Catherine, because that was a major moment at the reunion. People have never seen people ship a relationship so hard. People really want to see them together. Do you feel like their connection was sabotaged?
Yeah. So I think, you know, like passing comments, you see.
Do you know what? I'm so happy to see the Islanders coming out and admitting it. Like, admitting that they should not have put their input in. But then at the same time, they shouldn't have let other people's opinions get into their relationship. But I have seen a couple of things about, like, Catherine's podcast and stuff that she said and what actually happened between her and Scott. But I do think they're seeing each other now.
In the bedroom and getting ready, some of the lads will grab onto it. like the fake comment.
Yeah.
Didn't get grabbed onto it. The whole episode were about it. Brilliant. Like, I think Scott will say something in passing as banter, and in defence of Scott, like he'll say something, banter, yeah, joke this, the other. Some of the lads, including me, will grab on to go, no, that's not right.
Right.
And that's why we started thinking he's playing a game and he's playing Catherine. And yeah, I mean, like obviously, iconically brought everyone around the fire pit, started going in. I just sat there and thought, I'm not even getting involved in this. I kept my mouth shut for that one. I thought, not interested. Obviously, he said that comment about when Casa comes along, I'll forget about Catherine. That looked worse than it actually was.
Right.
He said that and he joked. He was like, yeah, joking, all that stuff. And he didn't actually put that much energy into the girls there. Catherine came back, and obviously Catherine got a lot of hate, I've heard, coming out, which is mental, because them two had an argument and then they were sound, and I love Catherine to bits. I get on with her so well.
And at the reunion, obviously, the chemistry between them was wild. It was a mad moment in the studio. I don't know if you saw them much after it. Do you think there's any hope? People are really like asking me to ask everyone to see if there's any hope for them, because people really want it, Mitch.
Honestly, even if I did know, I wouldn't say.
Mitch, I thought we had an understanding.
I really respect that though. Like, if they want it private, keep it private.
You thought wrong.
Look at you being messy with me now.
I know. Listen, I know. Like I broke lads code. I've done this, that, the other. But if there's big things I know about my mates, I'm
that's
not
actually quite sweet.
I'm not, and like I know stuff about Scott. I know stuff about the boys, and it's not for me to say.
Okay.
And the Catherine situation, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
And also, I think let's everyone just take the pressure off a little bit.
Yeah, for God's sake, please, because I was putting pressure on him week 2 and 3 or whatever it was, and them two, and like, watching it back, them two did have a lot of PDA and they did really get on quite well, and I feel like, damn, I saw it from the viewer's point of view. I might have changed my mind, but
the chemistry's off the wall. It's undeniable. Like, you feel it through the skin. Like, I felt giddy last night watching them.
Oh yeah, they were. Ruchi put something on TikTok or something, I think.
We're cuddling. Right, enough. Like, leave it, everyone. Just leave them alone. Like,
leave them alone,
leave
please.
them alone. Leave them
Let
alone.
Scott be happy for once.
So when you saw your best bits looking back, do you think, oh, I was so messy, or are you just like, oh, do you know what? That was just me. At least I was true to myself.
Yeah, that one. I think I was messy, but at the same time, I think I brought a lot of entertainment. And the only thing I regret is how badly I handled the Abby and Ella. The rest of it, no.
I do think he was definitely one of the best characters this season. I thought he was freaking, like, I literally used to call him Joe Goldberg from You at the beginning, and then towards the end he became my favourite character in there. Him and Ty were just iconic.
So much. Honestly, you've brought so much messiness to this series, but
So he didn't share as much as I thought he was going to share, but he is still being real. Like, he's not going to come out here and air all his friends, like they're his friends, so he's not going to tell all their business, but he's going to stand up for himself, and he's going to defend Ella, and I do really respect that. I think Mitch is a really good guy. Obviously he has the name Messy Mitch now, but that was a good interview. I think he's not going to do the big press run that everybody else is doing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and maybe I will react to more of their interviews because everybody's on a press run right now.